Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really get into some fascinating topics and pull out the key insights for you. Today, we're looking at two really crucial ideas for, well, any workplace, really. Organizational culture and workforce diversity. They're deeply connected. Our mission, if you like, is to figure out what makes an organizational culture genuinely effective. And then look at the maybe surprising benefits of diversity, not just for the bottom line, but for people and maybe even society. To kick things off, think about this. We have Ibrahim, right? Recent grad, loads of skills. He sees a job ad, 3 years related experience needed. He just moved on. Doesn't think his leadership stuff in clubs or volunteering counts. Or Mariam, she's 58, sees an ad needing someone energetic and eager. She thinks, oh, they want someone young. Doesn't apply, even though she's perfectly qualified.
Yeah, and those examples, they immediately show a big problem, don't they? How job ads, maybe without meaning to, can just screen out great people. It highlights that if you want the best team, recruitment really needs to be about skills and abilities, purely that, not some idea of the right type of person.
Exactly. So building on that, what is an effective organizational culture? What are we actually talking about? When we say organizational culture, it's the environment, right? Where people work. It's the vibe, the behaviors, the beliefs, the relationships, all that stuff. It dictates how people are treated and, importantly, how they're expected to treat each other. In positive culture, the impact is huge. People actually enjoy coming to work. They get along. They feel valued. They're motivated, often to do more than just the bare minimum.
That's right. And this work environment, it has layers. There's the physical side and the psychological side. Physically, okay, that's your workspace, the offices, break rooms, tools, equipment, lighting, temperature, air quality. Businesses legally have to make this safe and healthy. And let's be honest, a bad rep here. It kills recruitment and retention. Now, sure, not all jobs are comfy desk jobs. You've got outdoor work, hazardous stuff, but even then, the focus has to be on safety and minimizing discomfort, protective gear, proper breaks, good training. It's essential. But then there's the psychological atmosphere, maybe even more critical. This is where employees feel the company actually cares, you know? If there's mistrust or fear, morale plummets, performance drops. It's inevitable. A positive psychological space means managers know how to communicate, how to handle people well, not just manage tasks. It means honesty, fairness, ethical treatment, getting info from managers, not the rumor mill, and feeling like your work actually matters, that it's seen, appreciated, and yes, rewarded.
That makes so much sense. Connecting those dots, the physical, the psychological, it paints a clearer picture. So, okay, you've got a safe place, people feel cared for. How does that translate into collaboration between managers and teams? This brings us to how employer relations have changed. I mean, think back. The old way was often the boss decides everything, tells you what to do. Very little input from employees. Right. But today, the smart approach is cooperative. Managers involving employees in decisions. They often get better decisions and more buy-in from the team. Makes sense. Cooperation helps managers really get what employees need and expect. A really interesting example comes from Saudi Arabia, these work committees. For companies with over 100 Saudi workers, these committees bridge the gap between management and staff. They work together on improving conditions, health and safety, boosting morale, things like planning job training, helping out if a site has to close, even finding ways to improve product quality. It's properly collaborative.
And it's fascinating how this internal stuff connects to life outside work too, which brings us to work-life relationships. People everywhere are working longer hours, maybe juggling jobs, you have 2 career families. It's the norm now. So it's no surprise work-life surveys consistently show most people would trade extra pay for more family time. A good organizational culture sees this. It respects these pressures and tries to offer solutions. Like what? Well, things like personal time, allowing time off during work hours for, the dentist, kids' school play, renewing your license, stuff you can only do then. Some places even offer paid volunteer time. Green Mountain Coffee, for example, has this cafe program. Employees get up to 52 hours a year paid to volunteer in the community.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Then you've got flex time. Employees arranging their own hours, maybe starting earlier, finishing later, or compressing the week. Job sharing, 1 full-time job split between 2 part-timers. And flex place, or telecommuting, working remotely. Huge now, especially for computer-based jobs. Look at the Saudi telework program actively encouraging it, especially for women and workers with disabilities. It opens doors.
Right.
And okay, some of these might cost a bit up front, but the payoff, less absenteeism, lower staff turnover, happier, more productive people, it's definitely an investment, not just an expense.
That's a crucial distinction. It's strategic, not
Yeah.
just nice. Okay, so we've got this picture of an effective culture. But what about the people within that culture? What should this effective workforce actually look like today? Which leads us straight into workforce diversity. Expert, just picture it. A world where everyone's the same, thinks the same, looks the same, acts the same, sounds incredibly dull, right? And thankfully, the real world isn't like that. It's diverse and getting more so all the time.
Absolutely. And when we talk about workplace diversity, the definition is broad. It's the comprehensive inclusion of people with differences in personal characteristics and attributes. We often jump to age, race, gender, and those are vital. But it's wider. Socioeconomic background, culture, religion, personal interests, different abilities, different values. Real diversity isn't just different faces around the table. It's different perspectives, different ways of thinking.
Like different tools in a toolbox.
Exactly. Trying to solve complex problems with only one kind of thinking, you'll miss things. Diversity gives you more angles, more solutions you wouldn't have otherwise seen. So the problem with a lack of diversity becomes pretty obvious. Less creativity, less innovation, a narrower understanding of people's attitudes, their experiences, their needs, which makes it really hard to serve a customer base that is diverse.
Okay, so let's break down the benefits. You mentioned organizational, individual, societal. What's that look like practically for the organization itself? Well, first off, access to the widest possible talent pool, that's huge, especially when you consider that globally, the biggest growth in the workforce is expected to be women and older workers. You can't ignore that. A diverse team also means broader knowledge for making decisions. Different backgrounds, different experiences, different thinking styles. They bring fresh ideas, new ways to design processes, plan products, communicate better, lead differently. Plus, it boosts your company image. Customers see you value diversity. That builds respect, trust, and it leads to better service for diverse markets. You actually understand different needs, decision styles, communication preferences. You avoid clumsy stereotypes. For global business, diversity is a massive asset. Take Saudi Arabia again. Over 11 million foreign workers from over 100 countries in 2021. Think of the built-in understanding of global needs that gives Saudi businesses.
A real advantage.
And this ties right into Saudi Vision 2030, their plan for economic diversification. Attracting global talent is key, while also balancing it with the Nidakant program, which encourages hiring Saudi nationals. It's about nurturing local talent alongside global expertise. Okay, so that's the organization. What about individuals? Well, everyone gets the chance to develop fully. That boosts creativity, productivity across the board. Vision 2030, again, aims to lift women's participation in the workforce from 22% to 30%. That's unlocking potential. People feel respected, supported. They don't have to hide parts of themselves. Their unique viewpoints are actually valued in planning and decisions. And then the societal benefits. Diversity helps chip away at prejudice, at discrimination. As people interact, recognize value in difference, stereotypes start to fade. Ultimately, it builds a more talented, experienced, economically stronger workforce for the whole country. Better jobs, accessible to more people.
These benefits sound great on paper, but making it happen, that's the challenge. How do companies actually develop a diverse organization? Because let's face it, culture builds up over time. Change can be difficult. It needs commitment from the whole organization, top to bottom. There are about 6 steps that seem to work well. First, write it down. A clear commitment, maybe in your mission statement. What are your values around diversity? Second, top execs have to champion it constantly. In what they say, what they do, it has to be a visible priority.
Makes sense. Lead from the front.
Third, look at the evidence. Gather data. Who are your employees, your managers, your customers? Where are the barriers? Be honest. Fourth, update your policies, recruiting, hiring, performance reviews, promotions. Make sure they actively encourage diversity, not block it. Fifth, ongoing education. Classes, workshops for everyone, managers, employees, to deepen understanding, build skills for inclusion. And sixth, recognize and celebrate diversity. Make it part of the everyday culture. Visible signs languages, art, customs, show you value it.
That's a really practical roadmap. And it brings us nicely to a great example of a company living these principles. Coffee and a conscience. Green Mountain Coffee. They're profitable, yes, but they also have this deep social conscience. They genuinely care about the environment, the coffee growers, their local communities, global communities. They're involved in things like businesses for social responsibility, fair trade partners.
Right, and that fair trade aspect is key.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, traditionally, small coffee farmers got squeezed, paid maybe less than 70 cents a pound. Terrible impact on families' nutrition, healthcare, schooling. Fair trade guarantees them a fair price. But in return, they commit to high-quality farming that protects the environment. It's a partnership.
Okay.
And Green Mountain also supports Coffee Kids. It's a nonprofit works in coffee growing areas to improve kids' and families' lives, healthcare, nutrition training, scholarships, helping schools.
Didn't you mention their employee volunteer program earlier? The cafe program?
Yeah, 52 paid hours a year for volunteering. It all ties together. It shows business can be a force for good when the intention is really there, backed by action.
So, wrapping this up,
Yeah.
what are the big takeaways for you listening? We've seen organizational culture isn't just fluff. It's the foundation. It shapes how people work, how they feel, how they thrive. And diversity. It's way more than a box-ticking exercise. It's a genuine engine for innovation, for reaching markets, for just better human connection within a company.
That's right. And thinking back to Ibrahim and Miriam at the start, their stories, and then looking at a company like Green Mountain, it shows this isn't just theory. It affects real lives. It drives real business success or failure.
So here's a final thought to chew on. Thinking about those steps for building diversity, especially that last one, recognizing and celebrating diversity. What visible, tangible ways could your community or maybe your own workplace celebrate the unique mix of people you have? How could you make diversity less of a policy on a shelf and more of an active, maybe even joyful part of daily life? Something to think about.